Hi guys. I hope everybody is doing well today. Um, we have what may be a sad story, what may be an angering story ahead of us to watch today. So buckle up. Um, this was sent to me by somebody as a saying it would be good for us to do. It's pretty long, but I imagine that we'll get through it today. Um, Kathleen's here, Victoria's here, Vicky's here, Miss Carrie's here. Um, Lisa, you are, oh, thank you. Thank you. Um, Lisa, you're traveling, you're still doing well. Glad to hear it. Um, we all do, hi, Sashina. We all do feel like bad moms every once in a while. I'll tell you that. I'll listen to that in a second, Miss Carrie. But we do our best. Oh, hi Steffi B. So I cheated. I bought myself a Christmas gift and um it is the right thing for my Fitbit. So it's like the magnetic band. Now, I ordered it in black. I don't think this is black. I'm not trying to be racist, but I'm being legit. This is not black. And knowing Amazon, I thought, oh, well, I'll just go through and explain in my, like, that it wasn't the right one, you know. But they actually want me to go and return this one and actually take it back. And the likelihood of me doing that is like zero point 0.0. So apparently I have a silver Fitbit band now. I'm just glad I got it. It was only $9, but still I'm glad. Um, we are going these because I still have on my other wrist here, like I basically alternate wrists to get a rash from the Fitbit. It's like I'm a glutton for punishment. I like the Fitbit. I love the Fitbit, but I get a rash from wearing it. And you know what their advice is when you get a rash from wearing their product? They say, "Oh, well, don't wear it so much. Are you wearing it all the time?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm wearing it all the fucking time because it's the only way that I can be accountable." And so, yeah, I'm wearing it all the time. Why would the answer be wear it less? That seems like a silly answer. And so this is probably my fifth Fitbit device. And so I had one of these bands before and they're so handy, like it's magnetic. Um and it just like split like blisters. Yeah, blisters. I guess they're blistered. Like you can see my wrist. I don't know if you can see it on there, but it's like peeling skin because I haven't been wearing it. Again, you take a break, you let your hands recover, and then you're you don't have any data, which again is the only way I'm going to be keeping honest about myself. Because I don't know when I sleep. I don't know all of those things. So I'm glad that Fitbit does. I am noticing that there's a little something funny happening with my stream right now, and I'm not sure why. Uh, but as long as you guys can hear and see me, that seems to work fine. I do not understand. Oh, you're giving him some coal? Oh, that's not that bad. I don't think that's that. I used to get Santa to like coerce my child. I'd be like, "Can you tell her that she needs to go to bed? If she doesn't go to bed, it'll be bad." Yeah, I see that, Miss Carrie. I'm gonna look at that in 1 second here. Um, hydrocortisone cream on my wrist. No, I haven't, Heather. I guess I could do that. Uh, you're the funny thing happening to the stream, Matt. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. You got that for the 5-year-olds? Oh my God. Gel blasters. Jesus. Jesus. Okay, let's get started on this case that we're going to be watching because it's about a bad mom, funny enough. And I think that this one might be a lot worse than what we think, to be honest. Um, but let's and I gotta grab a drink. I forgot to get a drink. So if you guys are just getting here, thank you for being here. Please clock in for your shift by hitting the like button. Super helpful for me. We have just passed 300 and well, we've passed 350, 450, 550, 650, and 750 subscribers. We're up at 757 today, and I am so thankful and proud. So thankful and proud. Um, my eyes do not look blue. This is super weird. I don't know why, like, do they look blue? To me, they look gray on the screen. Why would it matter, Paisley? Why do you care what your eyes look like? I don't know. I just do. Um, I think it's the green screen is pulling just the weirdest colors out, and like wearing this color maybe pulls a different part of it. I honestly don't know. But usually I'm used to seeing blue eyes and I don't. Yeah, they look gray right now. But here's the thing. I'm like, for one moment, I was like, can you get colorblind later in life? Because what if this is black, these are blue, and I'm just crazy today? Like something happened in my coffee or whatever that made it like that. I don't know. Um, Heather, was it you that just said you made your daughter go to the, oh no, Kathleen. Kathleen, you made your daughter, your very attractive daughter, go to the burn unit at the Children's Hospital to understand the importance of not being vain. That'll do it. That'll absolutely do it. Um, oh, and I hope so, Heather. I do hope that we will be up in the thousands soon. Um, I want y'all to know that things won't change. It'll still be the same. Uh, it happened on the last channel too. We're almost at 3,000 subscribers on the last channel. Those lonely people over there that won't come over here, I don't get it, but whatever. Um, you can catch color blindness through a sticky mouse. Hi, Dana. Oh, you found a barbecue place right next to the hotel. Love it, Lisa Figalicious. That sounds delicious. Delicious Figalicious. Anyways, like I said, this is in Judge Kirkham. He is on the Smasher Pass list, by the way. Um, but this is not a happy case from what I've listened to so far. So please be aware of that. Also, be aware that I have lost my pen, my vape pen, my weed vape pen. Let's be realistic. There's no nicotine, just weed. And it's making me sad. Making me sad. I plugged it in. Like, the problem is, I know where half of it is. I don't know where the other half, the important half, is, the one that actually has the weed in it. So that's depressing. I'm still like looking all over the house, like, where was it there? And mushroom coffee is tomorrow. But yes, we will do mushroom coffee. I have it. I also asked my roommate why. Oh, I wish each and everything. I asked my roommate why he bought the mushroom coffee. Um, and he said it was to stop drinking regular coffee. So I don't really know. Yeah. 21.99. Is that cheap? How much for how much? Like an eighth? That's not that bad. I actually, although I still have some weed in here. This is how in Canada they package legal weed. Um, Atomic Sour Haze. But I got not 7 grams for $33 Canadian. Oh no, he's not drinking it, but he also doesn't drink coffee. And that's probably the more stupid part of that whole equation is like he doesn't drink coffee. I drink a lot of coffee. There's coffee mugs in this house, left, right, and center, and they're from me, not from him. I personally think either a girl sold it to him or it came up on his Instagram. Oh yeah, $30 an ounce. No, this is $30 for a quarter. $33 Canadian for a quarter. It was okay. I mean, at least you have to be really careful here and check when it was packaged. So this was packaged September 2023, but you can go to certain stores and find stuff that's 2 years old. Oh, there's no expiry in Canada on marijuana. It literally says here, what does it say? It always says it. Where is it? Oh, there. No expiry date has been determined. They the mushroom coffee expires next month. Yeah, that's right. They put an expiry date on that shit. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I could stop drinking coffee and start drinking. But here's the thing. The caffeine in coffee is not a problem for me. I actually take caffeine pills, like on the regular. That's like part of my medicine that I take. So, um, yeah, I'm not too worried about the caffeine levels. Sorry for coughing. Anyways, let's get this going. Then I'm going to listen to Miss Carrie's message. Then we will hi Jim. We will we'll see if I can find this. If not, I'll just have to roll it. Cuz I ain't sitting through fucking 2 hours of this whining. They're not magic mushrooms, Kathleen. It's a product. Where is it? I'll go find the box of it again. Oh, here's so it came with this. This is like the special stir thing, but it's called mud water. MUD/water. And like I have ample access to magic mushrooms if I want them. So these are not for magic mushrooms. This is for a coffee or like a tea that is supposed to be an in exchange for your um oh, I was like, "Oh my God, is my pen under there? Could it be?" Oh, Usually doesn't matter. Anyways. Okay. Um, yeah, and like this is like a one of those frothers. I know. I bet you did. They listen to us, Chris. They know. You either we talked about it, it hurt us or something. 7 grams of weed there is 65 US. Oh dear. No, if I wanted to, I could buy an ounce of decent weed for $100 or 110 Canadian dollars. Um, That's insanity. Oh my God, no. Like the reason I don't tend to buy weed in that bulk is because you don't get to see it first. And so let's say you spend the money on it and then it's not good. There's no return policy. They don't allow you to return it. There's no recourse for that. So I used to buy in bulk a lot more and now I buy a lot less in big amounts because again, if there's an issue, I don't have the ability to take it back and get my money back. Hi presto. Also, that includes taxes. no, there are taxes and tariffs on it, but I would say the quality isn't that good and they overpackage everything. Winter Witch, I have grown my own. I couldn't grow enough for me to smoke. Um, but I've definitely been involved in growing before, but like, um, it's just not enough at 4 plants, which is what you're allowed to have. That just wouldn't do anything. That wouldn't give me anything. I was licensed for 130 plants before legalization, based on my medical stuff. But now that legalization's in, like they changed the sort of rules, like, oh, you now have access to marijuana, so you don't need to grow it as much. There's all these different things about it. Anyways, like I said, we are going to be watching this this case and we will see where it goes. I'm going to go grab a drink, Coca-Cola, cuz I love caffeine. And maybe some of Jonathan's chocolates or candies that he sent me, and we'll buckle in. Um I think we might need a trigger warning on this. This lady seems to be not a great mom. I'm just gonna say that. But who knows, right? I do like it. I do like this. Throwing things around now. Okay, let's get it started.
Evidentiary hearing on the defendant's motion to modify custody, parenting time, and support in this particular matter. And Ms. Reed, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
Okay. And Ms. Keeler, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Reed, do you wish to make a opening statement or waive your opening statement?
A brief opening statement, Your Honor.
Okay.
The parties in this matter are the parents of Keon Miller, and he's 13 years old. They currently share joint legal custody and joint physical custody. On May 8th of this year, there was an incident where Miss Keeler assaulted Keon by scratching his neck and choking him with his hoodie. Ms. Keeler has been charged with child abuse third in that matter, and that matter is pending in the circuit court right now in case 23-1674-FH. There is a current PA 53 no contact order between Keon and Ms. Miller. Mr. Miller is requesting that he be awarded sole legal custody, sole physical custody, and that Ms. Keeler complete an alcohol assessment, parenting time classes, anger management classes, and then once that no contact order is lifted, that she participate in some reunification counseling with Keon before she can then motion the court for reinstatement of a parenting time schedule. He's also requesting a modification of child support pursuant to the formula.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Keeler, do you wish to wish to make an opening statement, or you can reserve on your opening statement and make it before you present any evidence or proofs, or you can waive your opening statement? What would you like to do, ma'am?
I'll do an opening statement.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, I guess. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. A 13-year-old child should obviously not need to deal with things like that already. Oh, I can tell I'm gonna be mad about this one. And she's so dressed appropriately for court. Is that her leg up? I think that's her leg up in a car. I mean, it does look like it's leather seats, but
I would ask the court to wait for the other case to be dismissed before making a decision. I also would like to show the courts a video that I have of the alleged litigations of the incident. And I would just ask for the judge to hold off to make any decisions until the other case is dismissed or whatever happens. And I'd also like to share my videos.
Okay. Did we On that, did we put, they have the notice that they had to have those in before?
Let me double check that.
I'm just checking to see if we put some notice in on the, time
I
when.
believe we had to exchange exhibits at least 7 days before the hearing, and I
Okay,
haven't received any exhibits.
that's what I was just checking on to see that that's the case. Once we get confirmation of that, Ms. Keeler, then you would not be able to present the video because that was not exchanged as per the requirements of the notice of this particular hearing, so.
And yes, we stated clearly, provide judges copy.
Well, no one has talked to me about anything. Neither.
Oh, honey, the clerk was just telling how they did talk to you about that. Is that not what the legislation? Seriously, she was trying to say allegations, I think. But legislation, legislation, legislations. Oh my gosh. Um, I mean, this clerk is actually very organized. I've heard him before. There's two of them, I think, in this office. And there's a guy and a girl. And both of them are pretty on it with their job. So, this hangs people up all the time. These pesky evidence rules where lawyers seem to know all of this, but other people don't. It's like, yeah, that's because they went to law school and that's what they've been taught, literally.
Your Honor.
Well, ma'am, it's on the notice. It's on the notice that you've got of today's hearing. So we didn't have to call you up and talk to you because it's on the notice. So, okay, with that, we'll proceed. You could have, Ms. Keeler, you could have, if you wanted to adjourn this matter, you could have filed a motion and requested the court adjourn it, obviously give a reason for the adjournment. You have not done that until today's date, so it's a little bit late to request an adjournment in this matter, especially when we don't know the other case. We don't know when that's going to occur or what's going to happen in regards. So court in this matter will proceed with the hearing today because everybody's ready and there was no prior request to adjourn the matter. So Ms. Reed, you can begin with your proofs.
Is Officer LaValle
This is
present?
the first court date we've had.
Excuse me, ma'am?
This is the first court date I've been in front of a judge. I've not been in front of a judge for this case. I do not know what to do. No one's representing me. I'm unaware of anything that needs to be done. This is the first time I've had a court date, face-to-face talk, conversation with
Okay.
anyone, Your Honor.
Well, let me tell you, that's back, if you remember, back on May 30, 2023, we had a motion hearing, and that motion hearing, you attempted to join vis-a-vis, again, the virtual like you're doing today, and then there were some problems. You had some problems. You were not able to join. So what we did is we moved that 1 week and then had the motion hearing on June 5th, 2023. And at that time, you did not appear. And at that point, then we proceeded on the motion and then set this matter for hearing. So you did have notice back in May that this matter was coming before the court and had not taken any action. So that's unfortunate and it's sorry, but you have a responsibility when you represent yourself to make sure that you do everything just as if you were an attorney, because you're taking on that responsibility when you don't receive representation. So we are going to proceed with the matter.
Did she just say, Hmm. What in the actual Also, yeah, I think we are gonna find out later that this lady was involved in a pretty horrific accident. Um, and paralyzed somebody. Sad. Very sad.
Uh, So, Ms. Reed, you can call your first witness.
I'd like to call Officer LaValle if she's present.
Okay,
Yes. Please unmute, officer.
good afternoon, Officer LaValle. We're going to take some testimony from you. So if you would raise your right hand, we'll have you sworn in, then we'll proceed.
Please unmute, ma'am. She's still muted.
Mhm. Officer, are you able to hear us?
Video is frozen. Hold on.
Yeah, it looks like she might be frozen.
Yeah,
She's Creed famed.
frozen as a result. She can't unmute. She can't hear us.
Oh, hold on. Can you hear us now?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. What we're going to do is have you sworn in, then we'll proceed with some testimony. So find a place where you get good reception, and then we'll go from there. Looks like she's froze again.
Yeah.
You guys go in another room because I'm not getting any reception.
Okay, officer, can you hear us now? It looks like you're moving, so we know that you've got a connection at this point.
Yes, I'm in a better location now.
Okay, we're going to have you raise your right hand, be sworn in, then we'll proceed.
Ma'am, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes,
Okay, Ms. Reed, you can proceed.
Good afternoon, Officer LaValle. Can you state and spell your name for the record, please?
yes, Caitlin LaValle, Caitlin LaValle, LaValley.
And where are you currently employed?
The city of Battle Creek Police Department,
And how long have you worked there?
approximately 2.5 years.
Okay, did you respond to a call on May 8th of this year involving Keon Miller?
Yes,
What was the nature of that call?
an assault occurred.
And what time did you respond?
Call came out approximately 21:26, I believe.
Okay, and
That's 9:26.
then was the incident resolved by the time you got there, or was it still ongoing?
Keon was getting checked out by Life Care and Scene.
Okay, and then what did you see on the scene?
Keon was getting checked out by Life Care, and I observed that he had a fresh red scratch mark on the back left side of his neck.
Okay, did he have any other injuries?
He did not.
Okay. And had anyone else been responding to that call?
What was that question again?
Had anyone else responded to the call?
My partner, Officer Scott.
Okay, did you have an opportunity to talk to Mr. Miller about the call?
Yes,
And what did he state occurred?
that he got a phone call from a Carrie Frisbee, which was Keon's grandmother, and that he answered the phone and it was Keon crying, and that he told his dad that his mother, April Keeler, had just choked him.
Okay. Did you see any red marks other than the scratch on Keon's neck?
I just seen the scratch, the fresh red scratch mark on his back side left, on his left side of the neck.
Okay. And did you have an opportunity to talk to Mr. Keeler about, or Miss Keeler about the incident?
My partner and I went to Roxbury Lane, where April lives, and we made contact with her at the door, but she was not willing to come out and speak to officers on the scene that we spoke through the glass door to her.
Okay. Did she give you a story contrary to the allegations?
What was that question?
Did she give you any story contrary to the allegations from Mr. Miller or Keon?
I asked why Keon had marks on the back of his neck, and she stated that there was no marks on the back of his neck, and that she was very uncooperative with us on scene.
Okay. And then based on your investigation, did you make any recommendations for charges to the prosecutor's office?
Yes, I submitted the assault with intent, less than murder for strangulation.
Okay. And was CPS contacted?
Yes.
Okay, I have no further questions.
Okay. Ms. Keeler, do you have any cross-examination of Officer LaValle?
When the ambulance there looking over Keon, do you know what happened to Keon after that, if he went to the hospital or did?
What was the question? You keep going in and out.
When you witnessed Keon getting checked over by the ambulance, did Keon end up going to the hospital, or do you know what happened to Keon after that? Do you know if Keon went to the hospital when the ambulance were checking when the ambulance people were checking him out?
Looks like the officers froze up again, so we'll have to.
She's creed framed, but ambulance? I'm sorry. Oh, I feel bad, but I don't like this lady already. Also, put your fucking face in the camera. Like, why wouldn't the judge say you have to be on camera? I don't understand this part. Ambulance. It's heinous already, right? It's absolutely heinous already. Ambulance.
To hopefully get a better connection, and then okay, we have you back now. Okay.
All right.
Okay, Miss Keeler, if you'd ask the question again.
When the paramedics was checking Keon out, do you know what happened to him afterwards? Did they end up taking him to the hospital?
I do not recall if he was taken to the hospital, that he was still in the back of the ambulance with Daniel.
So you're not aware of him going to the hospital in the ambulance and the hospital not even doing x-ray or anything and releasing them and telling them to go home because there was nothing wrong?
I'm going to object, Your Honor, that was asked and answered.
So you
Well,
have no.
I'll allow it. It's
my
cross-examination. Go ahead, ma'am.
So you have no recollection of my son going to the hospital in an ambulance. They did no x-ray and they didn't admit him. They didn't check his neck or nothing and told them to go home. Is that correct?
I was not provided any of the information. I did not go to the hospital with Keon.
So you're not aware that that happened?
Like I said, I was in the parking lot sitting in with the ambulance with Keon and Daniel before when I left to go chat with you on Roxbury Lane. They were still in the
Officer,
parking.
come on, you're saying ambulance too? Um, yeah, I just grabbed a drink, Dana. I went poof. Um, yeah. Seriously, what is going on here?
Not.
Okay, you also said that I was uncooperative at the house. What was I doing to be uncooperative?
What was the question again?
What was I doing where I wasn't cooperating with you and I was being uncooperative when you came to my house?
We asked you multiple times, April, to come out in the yard and speak with us, and you refused to do so. You refused to open up your front door. We talked through the glass door with each other. You kept cussing at us.
Okay, so because I didn't open the door and I didn't come outside, I was being uncooperative, or I was answering all your guys' questions and everything you asked me. Did I not answer any of the questions you asked me?
Well, it looks like she's froze up again, so.
Jesus Christ. Seriously, is cell phone service non-existent here? Also, I'm rolling a joint right now. That's why I'm off the camera, but I'll be back on it soon. Hi, Beverly. Yeah, drinking a Labatt Blue Canadian Pilsner. Labatt's. I know, ambulance? Like, isn't that a common word for kids to mix up? Ambience. But adults, I mean, tend to get that. Tend to get that one. Also, again, I've watched so many videos of cops that I find it hard to believe that the cops were just like, "Oh, you want to just swear at us through the door? No problem." Like, yay. I just don't think that's how that rolls like that. Like, can't they just get somebody out of the house when they write like that during an investigation? Yay. Oh, excuse me.
Unfortunately, the problem with virtual when people may not have good connections.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. The last question that Ms. Keeler asked was, did she not answer your questions?
I asked her a lot of questions. And I remember that she was cussing at us. And then she basically told us that she didn't trust us and that she left the front door and she refused to talk to us anymore, which I had
So,
additional questions with her.
so you didn't ask me why me and Keon got into it or if we got into it that night?
You had mentioned that quotations, he got to talking his shit and that wasn't not listening.
So what more did you need to ask that I didn't respond to?
So obviously I was investigating the scene. I had multiple questions for you and you kept saying that you didn't trust officers and basically you didn't want to talk to us.
No, I just didn't open my door, but I definitely was talking to you guys. Anything you asked me, I answered.
Ms. Keeler, just to clarify for you, this is your time to ask questions, not to argue with the officer. You'll have a chance to testify yourself later and you can add all of that information in.
Okay.
Do you have any more questions, ma'am?
No,
Okay. Ms. Reed, any redirect?
Briefly, Your Honor, Officer LaValle, did you prepare an incident report, an investigation after you had concluded your investigation of the incident?
What was the question again? I'm not
Did you,
understanding.
did you prepare a report regarding this incident?
Yes, I did complete a report.
And did you take pictures during the incident in your investigation?
Yes, I did.
And did you attach photos of those photos to your report?
Yes, I submitted to the BCPD lab.
Okay. Your Honor, may we have Exhibit C on the share screen?
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, you should be able to now.
Officer LaValle, can you see what I'm sharing with you?
Yes.
Does this look like your incident report? I'm gonna scroll slowly, let me know when you want me to stop.
Got to be careful here.
Yes, it does.
Okay. I'm gonna scroll a little bit further.
scroll down, scroll down, scroll down.
And then are these the pictures that were attached to your report?
Yes.
And it's kind of hard to see on my computer, but is that the scratch on the back of Keon's neck?
Yes.
And you had indicated that it was fresh?
Correct.
And how did you determine that it was fresh?
It was red.
Okay. And has this report been altered in any way other than myself adding the exhibit sticker to it?
No.
Okay, at this time, Your Honor, I'd like to move for the admission of Exhibit C.
Well, I'll tell you, without any response from the plaintiff, I do not admit police reports. The officers here can testify. It would be redundant. I have no problem with admitting the pictures, but I will not admit the police report.
Okay, so we would request that the pictures be separated and then remarked as Exhibit C.
Okay. Ms. Keeler, do you have any response to the admission of the pictures?
Is that the only thing he had on his neck was one scratch on the back of his
Ma'am,
neck?
this is your chance to respond to the offer of the exhibit, not to argue about the exhibit.
What do you mean offered to the exhibit? I'm not understanding you.
It's being the exhibit.
Again, this is not law school or law class. Fucking damn it. I don't like her attitude at all. I don't like it at all. At all. She should have gotten a lawyer, absolutely. Somebody asked earlier, is the dad represented? Yes, he is. That is the attorney who is starting off the proceedings. Sorry, they are, oh, weird. They are the plaintiff. They are the moving party, which means they begin. That's why the officer is testifying first under the questions from the attorney. Then we got mom. I use that word very, very loosely in this case.
Is being offered as an exhibit and as evidence in the case. If in fact you have a proper objection, you have a right to object to the exhibit. Otherwise, the exhibit will be admitted.
Oh, I object.
Okay.
Oh, I object. Hi, Mike. Yeah, an egg donor, a breeder comes to mind. I don't like it one bit. I'll say that. I don't like it one fucking bit. It makes me wonder what else that kid went through earlier in his life. But I am glad that his father has. I mean, dad is sitting there with this "do not fuck with me" look on his face, and I can't believe this shit. But so are we, if you think about it. You know, like I'm sitting it here. I'll turn the camera back on here in a second, but my face is like, what in the actual? And her attitude is just, it's literally seeping through the phone. The judge should make her put her face on the video and sit properly. It kills me when they do that. Everybody else has to sit there.
Well, in this particular matter, the plaintiff objects, but is not a valid objection. The court will admit defendant's Exhibit C, consisting of 2 pictures of Keon.
I believe there's 3, Your Honor.
Oh, is there?
There's one of his face, I think it's just puffy because he was crying. And then
I
there's
guess as you scrolled, you only scrolled 2 that I was.
No, she scrolled 3, Judge. The first one had his face, which I blocked out. The second, well, I tried to block out. The second one was his neck, a wide shot. And then the third one was a close-in shot of the neck scratch. There was 3 photos. Yeah, how do I really feel about it? I know, right? Ugh. Scares away people. I don't care. I can't lie about that kind of stuff. And Miss Carrie, you're so right. A strong, protective father, like, oh, is there anything sexier than a man who takes care of his responsibilities? Oh, mm-mm, mm-mm, you know? Like, I've dated guys before where they're like, no, I can't do this because I have my kid or I have to do this. The respect level for that goes so high as opposed to somebody who bends over, puts their kid second. Even to you don't want somebody doing that. You want somebody who's putting their kid first, always.
Aware of, but maybe I was writing at the time.
Because there's one of his neck and then there's a closer picture of his neck. So
Okay.
if we just want to do the 2 of his neck, that would be fine.
Okay, the court will admit as Exhibit C, the 3 pictures.
Okay, I have no further questions.
Okay. Ms. Keeler, do you have any additional questions of Officer LaValle?
No.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Officer LaValle. You are excused, and you have a wonderful day.
Thank you too.
Okay, next witness, Ms. Reed.
I'd like to call Shelley McCall.
Okay, what was the name again?
Shelley McCall.
Shelley, okay.
She's joining. There.
Ms. McCall, are you able to hear us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we're going to take some testimony from you. So if you would raise your right hand, we'll have you sworn in and then we'll proceed.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Reed.
I'd like the court to order Ms. McCall answer some specific questions regarding a CPS investigation. As CPS investigations are confidential, she would require that order to be able to testify.
Okay, the court will allow Ms. McCall to answer the questions as it relates to.
No, I think Mike Beverly is referring to Mrs. Trunchbull from the Roald Dahl novel Matilda. If I'm correct, Beverly, tell me. She was the mean headmistress of the school and the aunt of Mrs. Honey, the nice teacher. I'm pretty sure that's what she's referring to. Yeah, Matilda. I love Roald Dahl as an author. Oh, you never saw that? Actually, read the book. Again, I'm always a book reader, but reading that book, I read it as a child many times. All of Roald Dahl's books, a lot of them actually. One of my favorites was George's Marvelous Medicine. If you guys haven't read that, maybe I'll try and read a portion of it during members only. But George's Marvelous Medicine was a great book as well. And they're not super long. Yeah, I read the book first as well, Bev. James and the Giant Peach, a classic. The movie as well, but the book as well. Yeah. Yeah. Roald Dahl is a gem to childhood stories. Absolutely one of my favorites. And I just like hanging, like I don't know, the book is much better. Well, and so the Matilda book is also what I find much better, but Danny DeVito is in the movie, so there is that. And who is that lady? Rita something.
To any CPS involvement.
Thank you. Ms. McCall, can you state and spell your name for the record?
Shelley McCall, first name is Shelley, McCall, MC, capital CALL,
And where are you currently employed?
with the Calhoun County Department of Health and Human Services.
And what department within the Calhoun County Department of Health and Human Services do you work for?
Children's Protective Services.
Okay, and what position do you hold there?
I am a CPS supervisor there.
Okay, and what is your involvement with the case with Mr. Keon Miller?
My current involvement is I am the supervisor of the current ongoing CPS worker, Christine Eaton, who is currently involved in providing ongoing monitoring and services for the case.
Okay, and how did this case get to CPS?
Again, Vicky? They got demonetized again? Interesting. Very interesting.
We received allegations in approximately May of this year regarding concerns regarding physical abuse of the child by his mother.
Okay, and was an investigation launched?
Yes, it was.
Okay, and who was interviewed during that investigation?
The father, Daniel Miller, was interviewed, the child, and I'm going to probably pronounce his name wrong, but Keon Miller, and the mother, April Miller, or Keeler, I'm sorry, was also interviewed.
And as a result of that investigation, were there any substantiations made?
There was a substantiation made. April Keeler was substantiated for physical abuse of the minor child.
Was she placed in the central registry?
Oh, so they substantiated the investigation. I didn't look in the Discord. You have to forgive me. I didn't look in the Discord yet. It's terrible when a channel gets demonetized, but I've been through that before, so it's hard. When you do lives, it's different. It's pretty hard to debate that I'm transforming this content when I'm right here and we're talking about it. We pause it. We are chatting about it above. I don't know. I have no information on that at all whatsoever. But what I am saying is that, what I mean, what the woman just said. Oh, so when they substantiate an investigation in CPS, ooh, my ADHD is strong today. Look at me just jumping from subject to subject. When an investigation is substantiated, they usually call it like reason to believe, RTB, you'll often hear. So they'll say there's reason to believe that it occurred. Basically, it's very difficult to prove something like that. And they often don't even go to the criminal standard, the CPS has a different standard. And so their sort of rulings are saying that they found reason to believe or substantiated the claims of abuse. What I think that would mean, and obviously every state is different. Is this Michigan? I think this might be Michigan. But anyways, when they find that, it would make it incredibly difficult to regain custody without jumping through CPS hoops. They would basically have you under whatever order them and the judge put it through. Obviously, they don't work together in close conjunction like they do in Texas. I watched a lot of CPS court in Texas during the pandemic. It was like this weird little world, and there was a few judges that would leave their whole docket up, like it would be the whole day, and I would easily watch 5 hours of that all day, just listening to Judge Sims joke around. And like, again, I've said this before, I'll say it again. I like the minutia of court. I like all the behind the scenes stuff that happens. That's why I hate like edited videos. Like when people pull out what they don't think is important. Well, maybe it's not important to you, but to me, I like to hear all those back and forth comments. You find out a lot about a court and how it works like that. Anyways, so this is what I do appreciate here is this is the CPS supervisor, and I do believe and I think that how it should be is that when CPS testifies, there should be a designee available to testify because it's actually quite draining to go to court and be questioned, not by this situation as much because there's only one lawyer here, but when there's two competent lawyers arguing, it can be stressful to be a CPS witness. And like you heard at the beginning, the judge had to order this lady to testify because she wouldn't normally be allowed to testify about things. So he had to order that first, and then she's a supervisor at least, so she's testifying from a report. But my theory on that is that they should rely on that report, and if it's not in that report, then I don't think it is the appropriate to bring up in court afterwards. But sometimes you ask questions that elicit different answers. So, yeah. Why did CPS substantiate the allegations? Right? Let's see. Let's see if they tell us.
No, she was not.
Okay. And was she cooperative in the investigation?
From what I can tell from the report, she was cooperative when Miss Hughes finally made contact with her, but it took some doing to get her to respond to Miss Hughes.
Okay, and are there any sort of recommendations in the continuing services case?
Well, my current worker, Christine Eaton, has not been able to have any successful contact with April Keeler. She has attempted regularly to try to contact Miss Keeler by phone. Text message has gone to the home several different times. The first contact that Christine attempted to make after she was assigned the case, April did answer the phone. When Christine began to identify who she was and her role, April became very agitated, began yelling, and hung up the phone. Christine has not had any contact with her since that time. Our hope would be to, obviously, when we open a case, we always try to implement services to address the issues and to improve the situation, and that's not been able to be accomplished so far.
Okay, would CPS recommend any sort of anger management programs?
Yes, that would be the discussion we would have with Ms. Keeler, is that She involved herself in anger management classes, individual counseling services, as well as possible family counseling for herself and the child.
Would parenting time classes be recommended?
Yes, that would also be a possibility, yes.
Okay. And have you talked to Mr. Miller about these concerns and recommendations?
To my knowledge, Christine has met regularly with Mr. Miller and yes, has discussed this.
Okay. And are you aware that there is a current no contact order between Ms. Keeler and Keon?
Yes, that's what Ms. Hughes's investigation indicates, that there is such an order in place.
And because of that order, there's no concerns for Keon at this time, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Would CPS have concerns if Keon had parenting time with Ms. Keeler right now?
Yes, absolutely, because she has not engaged with us at all. Even during the investigation with Ms. Hughes, she continued to voice that no child was going to disrespect her in her home. She reluctantly agreed to a safety plan where we had asked that she not incorporate any kind of physical discipline with Keon, and she indicated that she would sign the plan, but still nobody was going to tell her basically how to discipline her child, and that her child was not going to disrespect her.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Okay. Ms. Keeler, do you have any questions of?
Oh, I think that's how they substantiated it. When she defiantly refuses to adjust her behavior, even literally to like save, that's shocking to me. How could you not lie? At least lie. You know? Like, of course not. Is that wrong that that's what comes to mind? Like, that you can't even muster up a good fucking lie? You're that angry and defiant that you have to prove your point about this to people that literally don't take that like that? Like, so weird. So weird.
Ms. McCall?
Have you ever seen the videos of the allegations?
I'm sorry, you broke up through part of that.
Have you ever seen the videos of the allegations?
I have not viewed the video myself, no.
Are you aware I have a 17-year-old daughter?
Yes, I am aware of that.
Well, we weren't. Where's that child? Oh. More questions, more questions, more questions.
So because you have not had contact with me on an allegation, you feel my son ain't safe at my house where he's been the last 10 years?
We've made multiple attempts to have contact with you, and you have not responded.
You did not answer my question, ma'am.
Could you repeat the question, please?
Oh, shit. I'll give her that. That was a lawyer fucking move. I will give her that right now. Wow. This is a great witness, but I have to say that was a decent redirect. I still want her face on camera, but you know what? Like I always say, I give credit where credit's due. That is a great redirect of that. She didn't answer the question. She didn't ask how many times. She asked because, I mean, it's a little bit phrased weird, but my answer would be that amongst other things have led us to that conclusion.
I said out of the last 10 years that I've had my son, you feel because of an allegation, my son is not safe with me, but my daughter was the last 17 years that I raised him.
Well, all I can say is the allegations the allegation of the physical abuse was investigated, and it's no longer an allegation. A preponderance of evidence was found that indicated that the situation or the incident did occur and he was injured as a result.
Have you seen the videos on it?
I have not seen the videos. I have read in Ms. Hughes's report the description of the video.
So you're just going by he said, she said at this point?
I am going on what the investigator did during her investigation of the matter.
Not the facts that's in the recorded videos.
I believe the videos have been included in the investigation and have confirmed that there were concerns.
No, ma'am, they have not been a part of the investigation.
I'm gonna
object, Your
Hold
Honor, she's
on.
testifying.
Miss Keeler, again, this is the time to ask questions, not for you to testify. So,
Okay, again, have you seen the videos, ma'am?
I've answered your question previously. I said, no, I have not.
Okay, again, so you're going off allegations of what somebody else has said, right?
The allegations have been investigated.
But they have not seen the videos. Have they not seen the videos of the proof of what had happened that night?
I'm going to object, Your Honor. The witnesses testified that Miss Hughes had seen the video. They were incorporated into the report, and that based on the video, there were still concerns.
okay.
Well, if CPS has the videos, I would like them to be shown, Your Honor.
Okay, ma'am, what happens is, again, I'll go back to your offer in this matter. You did not submit the video as an exhibit or a proposed exhibit. As a result, the court is not going to admit something that was not submitted and provided to the other side. It would be unfair to, again, admit an exhibit that was not exchanged under the direction of the court.
I don't understand anything you just said, but continue on.
Go ahead, ma'am, ask your next question.
I'm thinking. Hold on, sir. Did you ever have contact with my daughter?
I'm going to object, Your Honor. I don't see how her daughter is relevant to Keon.
Well,
She's
I don't know. I don't know all the facts yet. I'm going to let her answer it just because I don't know if the daughter was present or not. So I'll let her answer.
The only answer I can provide is Miss Eaton did go out to Miss Keeler's, or during one of the times she went out to Miss Keeler's home, her daughter did answer the door. And Christine, spoke with her briefly about, was her mother at home, and that Christine was trying to make contact with her mother. And at the time, the daughter indicated that April was not available.
Did she ever question my daughter?
Christine, no, would not question your daughter. She was trying to make contact with you.
So she didn't think it would be irrelevant for kids' opinion on what's going on in the house?
Christine is not the investigator. I'm not aware that Miss Hughes spoke with your daughter either during her investigation.
Well, wouldn't that be something you should do for any kid that lives in my house? If you guys felt a certain type of way that my son was in danger, wouldn't you concern yourself with my 17-year-old daughter that's in the house?
Well, Raven, so far I guess we've watched 37 minutes of it so far. And basically how it what I'm to understand thus far is that this is a motion to amend a custody order for a 13-year-old boy whose name is Keon. And there was an assault that occurred on the 13-year-old where she is alleged, I guess, I don't know what the result of those charges are, but alleged to have choked him out with a sweater and scratched his neck. They showed pictures of his neck, which was scratched. And basically, the lawyer that's present here is dad's lawyer, who is asking for sole legal and physical custody of the child. And mom has been this since the beginning. I think there's also something in there about her being um responsible for an accident upon which somebody was paralyzed, but we haven't yet heard that. But that is what I am to understand. So it's just not good all over, front to back, side to side, up, down, all around. Also, I want Chinese food so bad tonight. I just found out that we normally would have Chinese food on Christmas Eve, but my daughter asked for macaroni and cheese instead. So I guess we're gonna have that. My sister's making it, but
We were not aware that your daughter is living full-time with you. In fact, I was informed that she was, at the time Christine made contact, that she was just at the home at that time.
And who is saying this?
Christine Eaton, who was the assigned CPS ongoing worker.
So my daughter just happened to be there the one time she showed up and I wasn't?
That is correct, because that's the only time Christine has come in contact with your daughter, and she's been to your home multiple times.
Have I been there multiple times when Christina has been there?
I'm not sure, because no one's answered. You have not answered the door. So I don't know if you're home or not during those times.
Did they ever leave a note, a contact number stating they were there? Did they leave any evidence?
I
would
don't know. I know that Christine has informed me she's tried to call and text you as well.
Well, I would like to see them because I did not have one text from them. So I would like to see that proof.
Okay, well, you can ask questions now, Ms. Keeler.
Okay, you can continue.
There's no question on the,
Thank you, Josh.
Ms. Keeler, do you have any more questions?
No, sir.
Okay,
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
okay. Ms. McCall, thank you for your testimony. You're excused. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much.
Next witness,
I'd like to call Daniel Miller.
okay. Mr. Miller,
oh, it's the daddy. We are gonna hear the daddy testify now. Oh, she's gonna question him? Oh no. Oh, I wish I had popcorn. Ah, I wish I had popcorn and Chinese food.
I'll have you raise your right hand, be sworn in, then we'll proceed.
Also, just saying, so the weeds obviously kicked in. I'm super hungry.
Sir, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Miller, can you state and spell your name for the record, please?
Daniel Miller, DANIEL MILLER.
And you share one child with Miss Keeler, is that correct?
That's correct.
And that is Keon,
Yes,
and he is 13 years old?
yes.
prior to,
Daniel and April have a kid named Keon. I'm not trying to be silly, but did they just go like, oh, let's just not go with our classic names, right? And giggly, a little bit giggly. I mean, it's a sativa leaning hybrid, so. Also, I haven't taken any ADHD meds today. So, there's that. Oh, Chinese food.
May 8th, what was your parenting time schedule?
We had week on and week off. He would get a week with her and a week with me.
Okay. And then what happened on May 8th of this year?
I was laying in bed. I think it was about 9:30. I had work in the morning and my phone was ringing. I usually don't pay attention to it, but something told me to look at it. And, I seen Carrie Frisbee was calling, which is Keon's grandmother. And so I picked up the phone and it was Keon on the other line crying. And when I asked him what was going on, he just said, "Can you come and get me?" And that was all he could say. So I got in the car and drove over there. It's not that far away. And when I got there, Carrie met me at the front door. First, as I was pulling up, Miss Keeler was speeding away from Carrie's house, and she was swerving. It looked like she almost hit us. As I pulled in, Carrie met me at the door, and I asked her what was going on, and she said her and April, or it's what I'm referring to, and Keon got into it. And I was like, "Well, what does that mean?" And she wouldn't state. As I was standing there talking to Carrie, April pulls back in and walks up the stairs into the door. And then that's when I talked to Keon. He was down the road, hiding behind a tree. So I drove down there, picked him up and took him home. And he told me that him and his mother were arguing. She was driving with open alcohol bottles in the car. And when they got home, it turned physical. And she choked him and put him up against the wall with her elbow, forearm, I mean. And he did have a marks on him. And so
This is all hearsay. I'm sorry. And the only reason it's getting in is because the other lawyer is not, there's no other lawyer. But this is just rank hearsay. Child hearsay.
I called the police, and they met me at the apartment and took a report.
What kind of marks did you see on Keon when you arrived?
Keon had a scratch on the back of his neck. The side of his face was red, and I saw redness on his neck also.
Okay. And how long was it between when you arrived and saw those marks and then when the ambulance and the police arrived?
They got there pretty fast. It was probably 5-10 minutes.
Okay. And then did you take Keon to the hospital?
Yes.
Okay. And what did they do at the hospital?
The ambulance recommended we take him to get him checked out because of him being up against the wall with the forearm, just to make sure there was no blockage to his airways. And so they checked him out there and didn't see there was any kind of breathing problems or anything. And they contacted the social worker, I think it was, that's in the building, and then let us go home.
Was he prescribed any sort of medications from the hospital?
No.
Okay. Have you had any sort of behavioral issues with Keon while he's in your care?
I have not.
Okay. Do you have any sort of issues communicating with Miss Keeler regarding Keon?
Yes. She doesn't even, I think she has my number blocked. We can't even talk. Like I can't call her, can't text her. And then if she wants to randomly call me, she'll unblock me and then call or text or something, and then reblock me.
Okay. Do you guys have issues communicating regarding major life decisions like healthcare and schooling for Keon?
Yeah, we do. I mean, there's no communication at all from her.
Who usually makes those decisions?
I mean, if he has a doctor, if he needs something, he needs a doctor appointment or a dentist appointment or something like that. I'll call and set one up. If, as far as school and stuff, he's court ordered to go to Penfield, so, I deal with a lot of the school and stuff. She doesn't even, bother with the schooling at all. They didn't even know who she was when she tried to go in there and pick him up.
Okay, does she ever attend doctor's appointments or is it you?
No, I attend the doctor's appointments.
Is she made aware of when those appointments are?
Oh, yeah, she knows her. She keeps taking my phone number off of the doctor's notification list. But she'll generally, if she has to, like, she did make him one before, and she made it for when he was gonna be with me on my week, so I would take him, which is fine.
Okay, when you say when she keeps taking your number off the doctor's list, is she removing you as a contact or just getting your number from there?
No, she's removing my number, and hers is the only number. We just had to set him up a sports physical for football a couple of weeks ago, and my number was gone again, and it's happened multiple times. They said the only contact number they had was hers, so they keep taking mine off.
Okay. Can you describe your relationship with Keon?
Loving, I mean, understanding. Keon's a good kid. I mean, if Keon needs something, he'll come talk to you. Like, he won't, it's not a big thing. Communication is not an issue. We have a very close relationship, and things that he talks to me and Samantha, my fiance, about, I feel like is probably things that every other kid talks to their parents about, very close.
What kind of activities do you share together?
Keon's really into throwing the ball, like football, so we've been practicing on that. We play basketball together. He loves playing the video game, so we do that. Even going places, beaches, stuff like that.
Okay, and how do you discipline Keon?
So for me, I mean, life is all about choices, so I try to teach him that. And you always get a choice first, right? You're having a trouble, then it's you want to clean your room or do you want to lose your phone for the day? You know what I mean? And if we have an issue, then he's going to lose his phone, and that's a big motivator for him. He loves his phone. He loves being in contact with his friends, so that generally works.
And how often do you have to discipline Keon?
Not often at all. I had to probably one time in this year. I took his phone.
Okay, do you have any religious beliefs or practices?
No,
Okay, so Keon doesn't attend any sort of church, school, or camp?
no,
Okay. Do you purchase the items that he wants and needs?
I do.
Okay, and are there any special needs like medical or educational needs that he currently has?
No, he struggles a little bit in school sometimes, and we have to stay after and get a little bit of homework done or get some caught up at home. I think it's a focus thing for him. Everything that he goes through at home with his mom. He was really struggling for a minute there in school, but he's back on track. And at the end of the year, he got his grades back up to B's.
Okay, and that was after that no contact order was put in place, it got a little bit better?
No, this I'm referring to him at the end of the school year.
Okay. So from what time was he improving?
Excuse me.
When was he struggling and when did he start to improve?
Well, he constantly struggles when he's on his mom's week because he misses a lot of school when he's over.
She's there. Are they all creed frame? Literally all of them at once, creed framing? Or is it my computer fucking up? Let's find out. Shit. Shit, 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 shit. Why? Oh, give me a second. What did I do? What did I do? One oh five 24. 105 24. 105 24. That will not help. Paisley. I did leave something up that should not have been up that was probably dragging the system. My apologies. 105 24. Wasn't that it? 105 24. Ooh, we haven't had this problem in a while. Where I just really fuck up the computer. Streamlabs is shit, but it's really the computer, Mike. I was running a whole video editing shit in the background that I shouldn't have been doing. Um, it'll just take me 1 second to pull this back up. In the meantime, let's talk about Chinese food again. Although bad idea. I want Chinese food. Can't get Chinese food. There we go. My God. This is literally like somebody turned the computer off. Will dipping the screen help? I don't know. Chat. Give me 1
What was I doing where I wasn't cooperating with you and I was being uncooperative when you came to my house?
We asked you multiple times, April, to come out in the yard and speak with us, and you refused to do so. You refused to open up your front door.
There was an incident where Miss Keeler assaulted Keon by
can't
scratching
see.
his neck and choking him with his hoodie. Miss Keeler has been charged
There we
They're
go.
probably referring to
Fix it.
him at the end of the school year.
Okay. So from what time was he improving?
Excuse me?
When was he struggling and when did he start to improve?
Well, he constantly struggles when he's on his mom's week because he misses a lot of school when he's over there. So during the school year this year, earlier in the year, he was missing assignments from the weeks that he was with her because he wasn't at school. Then when he got back with us on our weeks, then we would push and get him caught up.
Okay, do you routinely help him with his homework?
Yes,
And is he permitted to turn in those late assignments to get caught up?
yes, and do extra credit, and he gets to stay over a half hour to actually get extra work done so he can get his grade up, like take quizzes as a retake quizzes is a big one that will get your grade up.
And he does that at school?
Yeah, he stays after too.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna move on to some child support questions. Where are you currently working?
I'm not really comfortable disclosing my work information to April Keeler.
And why don't you want to disclose where you're working to Ms. Keeler?